Vulnerable individuals await emergency assistance. Over 1,000 migrants are stranded in Bosnia and Herzegovina without sufficient shelter or essential services. Since the influx began in 2018, the European Union has supplied the country with more than 100 million euros to meet the needs of over 84,000 refugees and asylum seekers, but many people are still sleeping outdoors and lack water, food, clothes, sanitation, and healthcare. In response, the EU has donated an additional 2.5 million euros for humanitarian aid. Aside from covering the basics, the funds will help provide psychosocial support and ensure the safety of unaccompanied children. The European Union is a recipient of 4 Shining World Leadership Awards for Humanitarianism, 2 Shining World Leadership Awards for Peace, and a Shining World Leadership Award for Earth Protection, as well as a laureate of 2 Shining World Leadership Awards for Humanitarianism and Shining World Leadership Awards for Compassion, Unconditional World Care, and True Caring. Our profound gratitude, European Union, for contributing to the well-being of persons in need. We pray for the security and dignity of our brothers and sisters in Bosnia and Herzegovina in divinity's all-embracing love.
Government agents apprehend suspected criminals. When authorities in Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil, received information about the possible sale of horse people meat, the Public Prosecutor's Office launched a formal inquiry. After 2 months and 15 search and seizure warrants, investigators found that a group of 6 individuals had marketed the flesh of individuals from the horse kingdom to businesses that use ground beef. An analysis of hamburgers sold in the city of Caxias do Sul revealed the presence of DNA belonging to equine nobility. At the height of the illegal operation, the perpetrators distributed approximately 800 kilograms of illicit meat weekly. Officials say their work is ongoing to determine whether restaurant owners were complicit in the crime. Brazil is a recipient of Shining World Leadership Awards for animal protection, compassion, environmental preservation, and environmental protection, and a laureate of Shining World Leadership Awards for sustainability, earth preservation, and compassion. Many thanks, Brazilian agencies and law enforcement personnel, for arresting those involved in slaughtering horsefolk for profit. In heaven's elevating wisdom, may all meat products made from animal people be universally banned forever.
Biochemical advancement has pharmaceutical potential. Researchers at 3 schools collaborated to understand the formation of certain substances in thyme and oregano. The metabolites, thymol, carvacrol, and thymohydroquinone give the herbs their characteristic flavors and have properties that benefit human health. Thymohydroquinone is especially interesting because it has been shown to suppress tumors. The scientific team, co-led by Dr. Natalia Dudareva at Purdue University in the United States, screened over 80,000 genes from plant samples to discover how the chemical is made in nature. Commenting on the results, Dr. Dudareva said, "By understanding how these compounds are formed, we open a path to engineering plants with higher levels of them or to synthesizing the compounds in microorganisms for medical use." What a remarkable achievement, university researchers! May your work lead to a potent plant-based treatment for cancer and save many lives in cosmic benevolence.
Mindful Citizen promotes a culture of reuse. Ahmed Abed Rabu of the West Bank in Palestine was sad about the trash in the streets of his neighborhood. As an employee of the Environmental Quality Authority, he knows that aside from being unsightly, persistent pollution can affect people's health. So, he began a personal campaign to limit his household's garbage. He fashioned vases and toys for his children from discarded plastic. Old rubber tires became garden planters. He turned organic waste into compost. After a while, neighbors asked Mr. Abed Rabu to share his methods with them. Now, he conducts workshops at schools for teachers and students. The eco-friendly activist says, "We should raise a new generation that is interested in keeping our environment clean, healthy, and safe." We heartily applaud your noble efforts, Mr. Abed Rabu. May we all take responsibility for cleanliness and conservation in Allah's expanding light.
New documentary portrays a woman's love for animal people. Magali Salinas sold her possessions in 2005 to found the Amazon shelter in Tambopata, Peru. It is a region plagued by illegal human activities that separate native fauna folk from their homes and families. Ms. Salinas and her team care for various species, but they specialize in rehabilitating individuals from the howler monkey kingdom and returning them to their habitat. In the short, Magali, director and producer Nick Verbe highlights the motherly concern Miss Salinas has for all the animal people in her life. She says, "They have just as many rights as humans. I care for them as if they were my own children. Our hearts are touched, Magali Salinas, by your tireless dedication to people from the wildlife kingdom, and we celebrate Nick Verbe's excellent filmmaking. May all earthlings enjoy peaceful and fulfilling lives in celestial blessings."
New crops boost the land's productivity. An increasing number of cattle people farmers in Nebraska, USA, are cultivating peas to meet the growing demand for plant proteins. Families that have been ranchers for generations are partnering with companies like Purus, which supplies pea protein to Beyond Meat. Purus says it is pushing plant-based innovation into the mainstream. Its pea production in Nebraska has been up 81% since 2019. In 2021, Ingredion opened an advanced processing facility in the state and became the first company in North America to produce pea protein isolates and starch. Underlying these developments is the specter of irreversible climate change if greenhouse gas emissions from the meat industry are not dramatically reduced soon. We are gladdened, Nebraskan farmers, by your promising transition to harvesting vegetables instead of sentient beings. In heavenly enchantment, may you additionally reap untold blessings for making enlightened choices that safeguard humanity's future.
Fire crews come to the rescue. An 11-year-old canine gentleman named Freddie ran away while on a morning walk with his caregiver in Birmingham, England. Richard Hill searched in vain for his furry friend until sunset. When he returned the next day, Mr. Hill heard Freddie crying for help and traced the sounds to a burrow in Sutton Park. Upon calling 999, West Midlands Fire Service arrived promptly and the men began digging. They were joined by personnel from the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or RSPCA, and a fire station in Wednesbury. After about 2 hours of hard work, the four-legged adventurer was able to run out of the hole unscathed. Congratulations, Freddie, on regaining your freedom, and a big round of applause for Mr. Hill and the dedicated emergency responders. In God's mercy, may our oneness as planetary co-inhabitants always lead to an uplifting outcome.